Episode 56 DL. In the UK, the Environment Secretary, Therese Coffey, said earlier this year that the government would not limit air pollution in line with the EU until 2040, despite expert advice that it was possible to do so this decade. She said, "Evidence shows us that with the best will in the world we cannot achieve that everywhere by the end of the decade, particularly in London." But air pollution experts pointed to research by King's College London and Imperial College London that has shown the UK government could achieve the more stringent targets, which are supported by the public in polls, if it took stronger action on the sources of pollution, which include wood-burning stoves. The Netherlands. Dutch power prices turn negative as green power floods grid. GLID equals IWER0V1ZDPL7_GMRI up 0_GS1FNU-WIGAWAMQ2 as of UX6SUAHQBDZ8Q, and lead source equals UVerify %20 wall. The Haringvliet Energy Park in Middle Harnies, in the Netherlands. April 19, 2023. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity. Power prices in the Netherlands turned negative on Wednesday with the market so overloaded with green electricity that consumers are getting paid to use the excess supply. Prices fell to as low as €739.96 a megawatt-hour between 1 and 2 p.m. in Amsterdam's EPEX Spot SE exchange, with the weighted average staying negative for every hour from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The surge of clean electricity has outstripped demand, showcasing power grids' struggle to accommodate large variations in renewables. While strong availability is usually a good thing, the Netherlands had about 16 gigawatts of clean power flooding the grid at a time when consumption was low, according to consultant Enapsys. Power cables connected to neighboring markets weren't exporting much either, reducing demand. "This was unexpected and something we will see again," said Jean-Paul Herman, a director at Enapsys. The situation is another example of how far Europe has come from the energy crisis that had driven prices to record highs last year and threatened shortages over the winter. The region's gas market too has flipped from being short of supply to a glut. Negative prices are common in the summer and during public holidays if it's particularly windy. Grid managers have the option to turn down supply or boost demand. The Dutch operator, TenneT BV, issued an alert on Wednesday asking for less flows into the market. An initial day-ahead power auction was cancelled on Tuesday as traders struggled to price contracts as more supply than was needed hitting the grid. A second auction cleared with a negative price for the peak load contract. Africa. Namibia. Projects open for public comment, April 24, 2023. Vera. Installation of high-efficiency wood-burning cookstoves in Namibia, closes May 18. Faching composting project, closes May 18. Asia. India. GLID equals IWER0EGBKSHQSJGYLXQFMXNOBNYGSRQL179YKG4KPK12RCM2Z8N80H_PO. 121 airports to be made carbon neutral by 2025, Cindia. We are encouraging airports to use 100% green energy by 2024 and achieve net zero by 2030. 25 AAI airports are already using 100% green energy. Our target is to make another 121 airports carbon neutral by 2025, he added. Rozep View, the Airports Authority of India, or AAI, is a statutory body under the ownership of the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India. ATF is aviation turbine fuel. MRO is the maintenance, repair and overhaul, MRO, industry for airlines in India. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity. New Delhi, 25 airports in the country are using 100% green energy while another 121 airports will be made carbon neutral by 2025, Union Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said on Thursday. Scindia made these comments in his virtual address at the two-day EU-India Aviation Summit. He could not attend the event in person after testing COVID positive. The emission contribution of the aviation industry has been under immense scrutiny. We have taken several measures to minimize the carbon footprint and mitigate emissions from the aviation industry, he said, asserting that India and the European Union have a common goal of tackling climate change. We are encouraging airports to use 100% green energy by 2024 and achieve net zero by 2030. 25 AAI airports are already using 100% green energy. Our target is to make another 121 airports carbon neutral by 2025, he added. India has 148 operational airports, including 137 airports, 2 water aerodromes, and 9 heliports. Carbon-neutral airports have zero carbon footprints and operate completely on green energy, such as hydro and solar power for all their energy needs. These airports also offset any residual CO2 emissions under their direct control. Carbon-neutral airports are ones that have taken on green practices on a larger scale, have purchased carbon credits, and have things such as wastewater recycling, solar energy, LED lighting, and more that can offset carbon emissions. The minister informed that the government has mandated the use of renewable energy as part of the bid documents for upcoming airports. We are also working towards encouraging the use of sustainable aviation fuel. Indian airline operators have already conducted demonstration flights using biofuel blended with ATF, he said. Scindia also invited EU players to partner India in developing adaptive technologies and support the objective of tackling emissions from the aviation industry. The summit, which began on Thursday, will focus on EU-India air transport relations and the mutually shared challenges and opportunities of the two regions, India and the EU, such as the post-COVID recovery of air traffic, increasing sustainability, maintaining safety, and the development of unmanned aircraft systems. The summit will bring together top-level policymakers, industry executives, and stakeholders from both the EU and India. The aviation minister noted that India has reformed the regulatory mechanism to promote aircraft manufacturing in the country. We have reformed the regulatory environment to make it as conducive as possible for MROs, reduced GST rates on MRO services from 18% to 5% and allowed 100% foreign direct investment into the sector. New MRO guidelines have also been rolled out for rationalization of the charges leviable on MRO service providers for ease of doing business. Nepal. GLID equals IWER2LCPRDBNOVJGCKZ_OMX_9BJs cooked 1B8XDXPTNY1BPM6DPU. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity. An over 12-foot-tall white bear will travel across Nepal with a group of young climate activists to raise awareness about air pollution in Nepal, said Save the Children Nepal. Save the Children in Nepal introduced Sathi the air bear, who will travel to different parts of Nepal over the next 6 months. The bear's fur will gradually get darker to highlight the impact of air pollution. Sathi will travel in an electric vehicle, ahead of this year's G20 in India in October and the COP28 Climate Change Summit in Dubai. Thailand. Air quality in northern Thai city improves after storm, but some areas damaged, the Eiger. The Eiger air pollution levels, making the environment substantially healthier, although PM2.5 levels remain slightly above the acceptable standard. Understanding Phuket's haze season. The Phuket News. The PM2.5 readings were very high last week in Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and Bangkok. The northeast monsoon that brings this to Phuket has been clean technology. Electric vehicle fleet penetration helps address inequalities in air quality and improves nature. A separate study used 2017 data from 20 U.S. cities to document that concentrations of particulate matter with diameter less than 2.5 m, PM2.5. GLID equals IWER2LCPRDBNOVJGCKZ_OMX_9BJs cooked 1B8XDXPTNY1BPM6DPU. This Earth Day, invest in a heat pump water heater and